Stick with the draft and talk about the Golden State Warriors. According to Marcus Thompson from The Athletic, Bradley Beal and Pascal Siakam are atop the Warriors' wish list should those guys become available. The Warriors have the number 7 and 14 pick in the upcoming draft and have missed the playoffs the last 2 seasons. Let's take a look at the Warriors' core here and their ages, more importantly. They're in win-now mode, so they have the assets, but they also have a little ticking clock here. So, Ramona, how should they approach the draft?
Well, look, the Warriors have been trying to be the Spurs, okay? That was their idea of how they were going to present themselves. You have Steph, Clay, and Draymond is the older version. Then you have the younger version with Wiggins and Wiseman and Jordan Poole. They come along and take over for the 3 players as they get older. It's a nice idea. But you also have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, who want to win now and are ready and theoretically going to be all healthy together this year. And their timeline is different. And I don't know that you can wait for those young kids to develop and take a chance on not having a championship team around Steph Curry when he's still playing at an MVP season. So they have interesting choices to make. I think that Marcus Thompson is as well sourced on the Warriors as any reporter out there. So I have no reason to doubt what his reporting is there. I think the issue with Beal is he available? That's what everybody in the league wants to know. He has to give some signal of what his intentions are long-term in Washington.
That's it.
For them to make a decision, for Russell Westbrook to make a decision, Russell wasn't under contract, but if Beal was not going to commit long-term, then I think that is in play as well. So we need to know where Bradley Beal stands, being the Wizards, the rest of the league, everybody else, because I don't know that he's available yet. So at number 7, I think they have some really good options there. Would have been more interesting if they were in the top 5, but Davion Mitchell is a kid to watch from Baylor. Really good defensive player. They're having him in for a second workout pretty soon. I think he fits he's a young player. He would fit that timeline where you have the 3 young guys and then you have the 3 older guys. That he fits more with that timeline. But he's also a good enough defensive player, and that's something that they really needed last season, and that's the type of player that the Warriors have been built around. The only thing he isn't is tall, but he's a very good, tough defensive player. George, I liked your comparison with Davion Mitchell, sort of like a defensive version of Donovan Mitchell. Yeah,
bodies are very similar. Davion is certainly impressive. Perk, what do you think of the Warriors situation?
Well, look, this is a deep draft, and you know this is one of my favorite times of the year, but no one in this draft is going to help the Warriors and make them a contender right now and help them get over the hump. So with that being said, the most important player on this team, the most important player to this franchise in that franchise history is who? Steph Curry. Yep. Steph Curry is coming up for what? A contract extension. Like, we're talking about Damian Lillard and what he wants as far as with Portland, and he's sitting back and he's waiting and evaluating the front office to see if they're going to make the right moves. You don't think Steph Curry is doing the same right now? He wants to win. He don't wants to go back through that stage where he had to baby Kelly Oubre. He don't want to go back to that stage where he had to baby and show Andrew Wiggins the way, and even Wiseman. You have to bring in a veteran. You have to bring in a guy that's going to come in and have an immediate impact on the organization to keep the most important guy healthy and make sure that he signs that contract and be a Warrior for life.
Now, Perk, Ramona brought up an interesting point about Bradley Beal, which is Bradley's got to say, hey, I want to go somewhere else, right? But it's interesting, and Beal is an amazing player, but we're kind of sleeping on Spicy P as part of this discussion in Marcus Thompson's story in The Athletic. I actually like the Pascal Siakam fit on this Warriors team, perhaps even more so than I like Bradley Beal. That, of course, assuming we eventually get to relative normal health with Klay Thompson. But, Perk, what do you make of the potential situation if they had to choose one? Let's just, for argument's sake, say they could pick one or the other, Beal or Siakam. Which one do you think is a better fit?
Well, I'm going with Pascal Siakam. I'm going with a guy that has the experience of actually winning the championship. Give me that 6'9", 6'10", versatile guy, and give me a guy that you could put alongside Draymond Green, that he could put that dog into him. And look, look, Pascal is so versatile that you actually probably could play him at the 5 and go small. He could be a lob threat at the basket. We have witnessed him on the biggest stage rise to the occasion. Remember game 1, he gave Draymond Green 32 points. We remember that on 12 for, 16 to 18 shooting in game 1 of the finals. So I like the addition of Pascal Siakam if they could get him.
Yeah, like the Raptors have to want to trade him. He had a bad year,
Right.
so I don't think that's when you want to trade a guy. The Raptors are a really interesting spot at number 4 because Masai Ujiri's situation is still out there. He hasn't signed an extension yet, and his contract's kind of lapsed, so he's just sort of working. I know they've had a lot of discussions. I don't think he's going anywhere, but who's running your franchise right now? You have to.
There's so much drama.
He's running the draft for him.
In the NBA every offseason. Even when we thought this was going to be a sleepy offseason. Look how this has turned out.
Yep.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.